Bill Thompson is my name. I'm a conservative chap who lives around the corner. Thanks very much for sparing your time this morning.
No worries.
Mike Stutchbury, a standing ovation for you for your fair and balanced comments on the program this morning. I very much appreciate that. Mike Seccombe, perhaps not quite so fair and balanced, but we'll come to that. Just on the question of the ECB interest rates, if I heard you correctly, you did say they reduced it to zero. Was that actually less than zero?
There's a number of different interest rates. There's the standard one, like the cash rate in Australia. I think that's 0.15%. And then one of these interest rates, which is the one where what the central banks charges banks to hold money with it basically overnight, they've taken that to minus 0.1, so very close to zero. But the point is, the banks in effect have to pay for the to be able to hold their money.
They don't want you leaving the money in the bank, do they?
They want you to put it out.
The idea is you put it out into the community.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, look, I read a report yesterday, and I think it's a bit older than that the Russians and the Chinese have got together for a big deal on liquefied natural gas.
Yes.
Do you guys think that is actually one of the biggest economic news stories?
And I'm surprised it hasn't got more coverage, because I think it's going to be further bad news for the Australian coal industry.
Absolutely.
Because I've been talking to some market analysts about this, and China actually has very large coal reserves of its own. We make up most of the seaborne trade, and the suggestion is that in the very near future, the Chinese won't really need our coal as they move to gas and as they use their own supplies. So yes, I think it's a big story.
Mate, now also on climate change, do you acknowledge that credible measurement sources have shown no statistically significant atmospheric global warming over the last 18 years?
No.
How do you not acknowledge that?
Because I've seen the figures that show that isn't the case. Furthermore, I've seen the evidence that as much as the atmospheric changes have slowed somewhat, a lot of the heat is going into the oceans. There's a lot of dissolved carbon in the oceans now, which is causing all sorts of problems with marine life. I think to say that because it has slowed temporarily is not sufficient cause to deny that it's happening.
Thanks very much, Mike.
No worries.
Good on you.